look at my right hand while left hand's doing something else.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole situation, when it comes down to this, is that yet again it's a few people that spoil the many.
Yep.
And I feel like majority of people are doing their jobs, and we just care about the ones that are not. Danyel's back, all right.
I've grown a beard since you were
I've noticed this. So you're like an upside down person.
Humpty Dumpty's made another appearance.
Mate, though, you have a good, like, shaped head, didn't you?
See,
Yeah, he does.
Good.
Didn't he?
He does, yeah.
Well, do you not reckon you'd suit being bald?
No, I've done it before. I did it on the show. Yeah, I call it the show. When I did X Factor back in the day, 13 years ago. How old are you, Kai? 13 years ago? 4. No, 7. So we've got new people in the studio. And so, yeah, and I shaved off my hair because they kept on just talking about crap around me, like, and so I thought I'll give them something to talk about, so I shaved off my hair, and it was mental because they wouldn't let me do it.
Is that why you've got the ginger bits?
I got ginger bits today, haven't I?
You have. Where you been on holiday?
I have.
He's claiming. I reckon it's
I don't
highlights.
mess around. I don't mess around with my hair that much.
Callum, what do you reckon? Do you reckon he's got highlights?
No, I don't.
It's
I
sun.
don't.
It's
I reckon
sun-kissed.
it looks the same, right?
Yeah, sun-kissed. See? You don't care.
I mean,
you know
I
when
can't really see that much of a difference.
You know when girls get
Put
their
your
hair
head
done.
forward. Put your head forward. Look.
You know when girls get their hair done and they get like different glasses or like, and they like, oh, do you notice anything different? Most blokes like that. No.
How many times has someone said, have you got highlights?
Always, but it always happens when I go on holiday. Every time.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. Now I'm looking at it, maybe a little bit
Just a
lighter.
little bit lighter.
Not much.
This
not
wonderful
much.
lighting that we have in the studio. And that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
artificial.
I think we look
going
alright
on.
though. I think Callum makes us look good.
He does,
Yeah.
makes you look all right. He makes me look like I've got a fat head and pale.
I mean, I don't.
There's only so
distort
much
the
he can
picture
do.
So much.
So now I definitely am going to look like Humpty
I'll keep the
Dumpty.
picture how it is. I'll just
Mate.
colour grade it slightly.
You're very much an attractive guy. Don't be harsh on yourself. All right?
But yeah, Dan, how was your trip? Obviously, it's been 3 weeks now.
Has
I
it been
think.
3 weeks I've been off?
I
Shut
think
up.
so.
Yeah,
No
think so.
way.
You've
Yeah.
let it down big time.
You got someone else in.
Oh.
I think I was replaced by a 12-year-old. I don't know what happened.
Oh wow, Harry, are you listening?
Harry, when you watch this, he thinks you look 12.
He does. If you shaved him, he's 12.
Yeah, I think-
He's going to be coming in after actually to watch something. So,
Is he?
Yeah.
I feel like there's now going to be like this way. I don't think I'm scared of Harry. I'm just saying.
Can we live stream it straight to Harry? He's all right. He's good as gold.
He was
Harry.
very good.
Yeah, because
He's serious though.
yeah, and
Isn't he?
obviously, if you've watched his podcast,
Of course.
the tweets thing that was quite funny. But yeah, I have missed you, mate. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't.
Aww.
It's been quite lonely not doing this, and obviously our fans are up to 54 subscribers.
We should care about this just for because once we get to like 1 million, we won't care about those.
But we can claim that they're the first
You know what I mean?
54, right?
Yeah.
You can be one of. So if you want to be one of the first 100,
Exclusive.
we're gonna have the first 100 party.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, let's do it. 100 followers.
Imagine the people there. That would be a proper different set of people, wouldn't it?
We know who's the
Jesus.
#1 fan's gonna
Yeah,
be,
we
right?
do.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do.
They're always there.
She's always there.
She's always watching.
Sweet, but yeah, you had a nice time.
I did,
You went
but
on holiday.
I miss you guys. You've done some good stuff. Sorry, we're going to get you to switch off. You've done some good stuff in the transfer market, Mr. Spursy person.
Mate.
Basuma come from.
Yeah, Basuma, Richarlison today.
Is that actually happening?
Yeah, he just agreed a fee. Medical was going to be done tomorrow.
If that comes through before Jesus, I'm going to be so annoyed.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Everton have got FFP problems.
Yeah, they
so
do.
They've got a deadline today where they have to, balance it.
We'll be coming to you soon, Scott. Stop it. This is me and Callum's
But
time.
yeah, I'm quite happy with how things are going at the minute. To be honest with you,
good.
my mental health's looking quite positive.
What about Man United? Man United fans, not so much though.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's quite funny to see. It's
weird,
what they're
isn't it?
doing.
What are you doing?
Frankie Dion looks like he's going to be going to him though for a lot of money.
Why would you do that?
What?
Why would he go there?
Why would he leave
He's at
Barca to go
Mate,
United?
are you leaving?
Yeah.
Are you leaving Barcelona? The place, the sunshine, the beach, the
What are
city.
you on about? England's great. It's not depressing or
Mate,
messes with your mental health at all. What are you
I've
talking
never
about?
been to anywhere rainier than Manchester, which I love Manchester loads, but it
Manchester's
rains
dull.
all the time.
Yeah.
But that's England for you. You can have 4 seasons in one day.
We have been in Reading in the old ding.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We had some winners in Whitley. I'm going to get told off for this. On the postcode lottery. We had 10 winners.
You also
Whitley.
won.
Yeah, in
Go
Whitley.
on, big up Whitley.
Big up Whitley. 30,000 each, mate.
Wicked.
How much is that?
30,000.
30,000 each.
Mate, I might have to do
Class.
this postcode lottery thing.
Mate, that's what I've been
That's
trying to
cool.
do for the last 20 weeks. Do it. Do it.
Do it, sell it.
Do
Go on,
it.
Go on, the Whitley.
How is Scott?
Scots.
And then I'll come to you, Callan, because we always forget you, but we'll come to you. It's fine.
Scots. I've had good moments. I've had bad moments in the last 3 weeks. I'm not going to lie. The therapy, we've had to put on hold for a little while. I say hold, no, we're still doing it. But obviously reliving the trauma side of it. My therapist is like, look, you're going through trauma again right now. It's not a good thing to be reliving old trauma while you're going through certain things. So we're just doing, for the next, I think, 4 sessions, is like a stable, like check-ins and stuff like that, just keeping it going. But obviously, I recommend therapy. The leaps and bounds that I've come on in the last, 5 weeks, 8 weeks now, I've been doing the hardcore part of it, I suppose. That's worked. It's even to the point of, like, my daughter, bless her, she's actually said, Dad, you can see that therapy actually is starting to work. You're a lot calmer, not straight after obviously reliving it. It takes about 2-3 days to kind of like set my mind down. I get the flashbacks and bits and pieces, but then about 2 days before you do it again, it's like, oh, I feel great. And then obviously this is the part where you're processing it all, and as they call it, putting it into the right filing cabinet rather than being the wrong one, and it's spilling out everywhere. But I'm getting there. I'm good. I wish it could be done in a week, but obviously life's not like that. But my life's getting back on track. I'm happy. Callum messed with my mental health this week, but we'll get onto that bit in a minute.
I'm talking about more football or something.
No, that messes with just in general. But no, Callum's messed with my mental health.
Oh, no. We'll talk about that a bit later, yeah?
Yeah.
Callan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
You sound good in
Yeah.
your voice. Just, it's kind of silky, full-bodied.
Yeah, very nasally.
No, I don't think so. Is that what you think about yourself?
No, I've got nasal problems. I have since I was a kid.
Oh,
so I know my
I've
voice
never
is quite
noticed that.
deep. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Everybody else does.
I think this is what should happen, and I talk about this a lot. A lot of people like to tell other people their kryptonite.
Yes.
So if Superman didn't tell you how to kill him,
You would never know.
you wouldn't know.
No.
So you should also never really tell people the things you don't like about yourself, because then they can use it against you. So I just don't tell anyone.
I don't like it that I don't get clothes bought for me.
Are you trying to get some free clothes?
When people buy me clothes, it really upsets me.
So should people buy you clothes?
If they want to.
Why is that? Because everyone who buys you clothes
Uh-oh.
has bad taste? Or is that what it
You're
is?
Such an ass.
No, 'cause
I know where he's going. It's they get the. I don't know. A lot of people. Well, someone like you would buy me a Spurs T-shirt, right?
That's fine though.
yeah.
You don't
it's all
support
And I'd
any
expect you
team.
to wear
No.
it out.
No,
If you had to choose between Spurs or Arsenal, who'd you choose?
because I have quite a few friends that are Spurs fans, so I'd have to say
Yeah,
Spurs
Spurs.
as much as I didn't want to say any.
I
But
know.
yeah, I don't think a night out would be.
I tell you what, you could have like replica trophies that Spurs have won over the last.
Put it this way, we took my mate Gareth, he's a Spurs fan, huge season ticket holder. For his stag do, we made him wear an Arsenal football kit. Mate, he was
No way.
Mate, we pinned him. He
Do you
was
know
not
what?
having it. We pinned him to the floor and made him. We put it on him.
It must be
That's
nice
nuts.
to.
That is nuts.
It
You
must
wouldn't
be
get invited
nice.
to the wedding if I was him.
He was fuming. He
Yeah,
was
I
not
bet.
happy.
No, I think that's a bit too far fetched. I think you could wear like a Chelsea one, a Man United one. I think that would be fair.
Not
to
Chelsea. Not Chelsea.
Would you rather wear an Arsenal than Chelsea?
No, I'd rather not. I'd rather cut
No, but
my
if you
face
had
off.
to-
To be honest.
If you had to
Be
choose,
honest.
though, if you had to choose,
I mean, it's a life or death situation.
Yeah.
So if someone put a gun to my head, then I'd be able to give you an answer. But until then, I don't.
let's bring the gun next week. There we go.
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't know. But yeah, getting back on subject, I'm good. Yeah, just happy that you're back.
Oh,
Yeah, we've only done one in the past 3 weeks, so
That's
it's
weird,
good to
isn't
get
it?
you back in here.
People have asking
Yeah.
where it is.
56 people.
Is it 56? Gone up from 55.
Yeah, I'm adding.
Kai's
I'm
just
not
Did you push that subscribe button? You want to be one of the parties for the first 100, right?
I'm not even following. You know what I mean? So I could just do it. I want to be the 100.
Do you know what? Actually, I don't think I've subscribed.
Shut up.
I don't think I have.
Crazy.
But,
what's going on then? What are we talking about?
well, I was just going to ask you one thing, actually. Hot topic for yourself. Obviously, your mental health. You've been away, working, holiday.
Yeah.
How is it?
No, it's good. Had a nice, kind of an element of just seeing other people's mental health in my friendship group. We've known each other for a hell of a long time. Some people went to school with each other in the group since they were 7. So there's a lot of stuff there. And, there's always sort of a person that gets a lot of flack. There's a lot of people's kind of ideas and thoughts and thought-provoking things that conversations we're having with other people. And that's quite nice because we all don't think alike. We're all friends, but we have very different kind of ideas, but I kind of like not being in an echo chamber where we all think the same, because I don't want to reinforce my crazy views that might be completely fine, but I'd be like, yeah, but everyone around me thinks the same. Be like, but you shouldn't have that.
Yeah, that's a bad.
I want you to disagree because I'm normally wrong.
Because obviously someone made a very good point the other day, right, on TikTok, and I thought it was quite a good thing about mental health because it hits the subject. She said, name me one subject that everybody agrees on in the world.
Michael Bublé.
There isn't, is there?
You can't have a Christmas without him, no. Mate, you can't.
No,
yeah, but
you can't.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah, I would imagine
comes out of the
Iraq
ice
or
cube.
places like that.
Oh,
I don't think they
goodness.
agree with that.
Everyone.
But there's not one subject in the world, and the point of what I was trying to make is your mental health. Not everyone's going to agree. Some people are going to see it. So I kind of
It's called debate. That's what I like.
But people like myself, when I'm having a bad moment, you always think, oh, what's the other person thinking, blah, blah, blah. And you overanalyze it.
Oh, Joe Rogan thinks of everyone as babies. He's like, you used to be a baby. So I'm going to take it back to that. So many things have happened in your time, but I'm actually just arguing with someone who used to be a baby. What's the point? You know what I mean? Honestly, what's the point? We're just we used to just be nothing. And now you've set there arguing, you don't. And another thing is especially if you have partners or family members and stuff, they were saying if you argue with someone and you love them and you win, theoretically you've made them a loser. So the person you're dating or the person who's in your family or the person you're making them into a loser. That doesn't make you strong enough. That doesn't make your family unit strong enough. You know what I mean? You have to come to compromise. And that's why we haven't fallen out in this podcast, because we've had heated debates, but at the end we're like, cool.
Yes, we have.
But that's fine, because we're supposed to. I don't want to sit here and be like, yes, Scott, you're right. Yes, Callan, you're right. How
it was
boring.
you two, really, the sassy ones. Obviously.
Yeah, we do hit it off.
We do a little bit, yeah.
But I like it.
You've got to be logical, sit on the fence, take both opinions on board, haven't you, really? But all right, fair enough. That is a good point, because no matter what, if you might disagree with someone, there might be something that you actually agree with
later
in
on.
that point.
Yeah, later on, that's fine.
I don't agree with you messing with my mental health.
You'll find out why, but it's good for his.
But I mean,
it's brilliant for his mental health.
But I mean, we're doing the podcast now anyway, so that should ease it up a little bit. Hot topic number 1. Just press the button.
Hot topics.
Sweet.
I bet you did that when you recorded it as well.
I did, of course. Yeah. Super animated.
Question for you, Scott. Big sport fan. I'm going to come in on camera 3, look straight at you. What's the big sporting event that's going on right now in London?
In London?
Yeah.
What?
On BBC One
and 2.
Oh, Wimbledon.
Yay!
So how's that? What? I had to think then.
And guess where I was yesterday?
Were you at Wimbledon?
I was.
Did you watch the Andy Murray match?
No. So I have a rule about this.
He's not that famous. You don't get invited to things like that.
No, it's only centre court. We're on court 1, so we're on court 1 and stuff like that. But you can watch on the screens on Murray Mount and stuff. So we watched a little bit, but I don't like being in centre court because I won't leave it, because the games are incredible. You had Djokovic yesterday, you had Emma was on there and then she lost, and then Murray was on there as well. So, but then I wouldn't leave centre court. But because I'm on court 1, there's some people I don't know, so we go out and we go and chill and we go to the other courts and look at the other tennis close-up courts, doubles and stuff like that. So that's what I kind of like doing.
Nice.
You didn't think I'd knew that, did you? I didn't think I knew.
I mean, I would have been a bit shocked if you didn't know.
Because you forget that Wimbledon's London, right? But
yeah,
even though
one of the biggest sporting events that happen annually in this country.
I'd rather talk about tennis.
I mean, if you look at how famous
Wimbledon
is. biggest slam event in tennis.
Yeah, it was just a little
Wow.
picture.
He went as a lumberjack.
I went as lumberjack. Yeah, I was going to wear that jacket today, but I was like, I probably wore it before here. Anyway, yeah, great. So what was the
so
topic
hot
on this
topic? I want to talk about Andy Murray today.
Ooh,
So I mean,
That's
Dan, you
nice.
obviously know this, but former world number 1 was eliminated in Wimbledon in the second round versus John Isner by 3-1.
he's a giant, by the way.
Yeah, big old boy. I mean, you saw
Big
him
guy.
in person, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Murray said that it is hard to maintain a physical condition that is good enough to compete at the highest level, but that if his body's in a good place, he will keep playing. Do you know about the issues Murray's had over the years?
Yeah.
So
the injuries and stuff.
yeah,
like that,
of course, he's had issues with injuries. In 2019, had a second hip operation, which consisted of installing metal plates.
Ooh.
He returned from that, but he's understandably lost his sharpness on the court. So, following his elimination yesterday and the likelihood that he might retire, how would you imagine his mental health to be right now?
That's a good point. I think he's going to have ups and downs with that one because he knows what he's achieved. He knows, obviously, the first operation went wrong or didn't succeed. I knew that bit. Yeah, I can see. And obviously the second one, I think everybody wants to, but everybody has to kind of remember you're getting old and you have to retire at some point. But is it before his time? That's the bit that he'll be working out in his head. And then it comes down to, my sponsors, my money. And obviously, as we all know, money is the thing that makes the world go round, right? So I'd imagine he's getting ups and downs. Like, yes, he probably has advisors and he's invested his money and he'll probably end up being there talking as like what they do on the football, when they retire out of football, footballers end up coming, is it commentators, is that the right word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd imagine he'll end up in that role. But I think obviously right now, with the defeat, I'd imagine he's on a low right now.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I mean,
I think he might be happy that he actually got out there. Same as Serena and stuff, even though she lost a tan. I think they're happy that they've had this setback in their life. Serena, is like 40? Andy Murray's like 35. So, at the same time, you're playing up against people who are 25. And, that's 10, 15 years different to you. And that's a lot. If you go and run against a kid who's like 15, you might think you're going to beat them. You're like, nope, not this one.
You can just stick your foot out.
But I think that, he can look back at his achievements. It's a bit like Arsene Wenger. It's like, if I knew I was going to be as loved as I am now through leaving the game and not being a manager, I would have done it ages ago. But sometimes it's so hard to let go because that's all you know. But there's so many opportunities to come when you do finish a project.
Well, put it this way, if I, as Callum, that's the reason why I think Callum comes to me first. If I know of him and his history,
he's done well.
He's done well, right? Because I don't follow Wimbledon.
Well, that's it, yeah. I mean, he's won 2 Olympic golds, 2 Wimbledons, first British player to win a Wimbledon since Fred Perry. What was that, like?
A long time
30s or something like that.
Yeah, a long time ago.
So obviously he's achieved. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
For someone like myself.
And we like Tim Henman, and he didn't achieve anywhere near that.
Down in history as probably will be the best British tennis player ever.
Yeah. He's that's what I mean. He's going, 100% he's going down in history, isn't he?
Yeah. He's been up there at the same time as Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal. But there isn't any better players in our time frame.
No.
Yeah, it is a very meaty field, isn't it, when you look at it like that?
It's tough.
The big four.
Yeah.
When's there ever been?
It's like
in
F1
tennis?
right now. You know what I mean? There's some big players, amazing drivers up there, just all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a good time to be alive, isn't
It's
it?
a good time to be alive.
But yeah, do you think he'll look positively at the fact you said, Dan, that he's gone out there, or
And he's got a family.
I think it all depends on the people surrounding him, doesn't it? If you surround yourself with negative happens. If you try and surround yourself with positive happens.
I guess it's a bit of a difficult one, isn't it? If you're so passionate about the sport, he said after his hip operation that he got his buzz back for it, knowing that you can't quite get to that level and trying to be okay with it. Because as we said before
100%.
about Tiger Woods, to get to that level, you've obviously been so competitive and
Consistent.
you have that drive there. And if you can't then go and get the honours which you're putting in the work for, it must be pretty hard.
But he can move into doubles. You know what I mean? Like he's played doubles before. His brother plays doubles. He can just go and do that. Less.
Yeah,
Let someone else do the running.
Yeah.
True. I suppose there's Yeah, other alternatives, but either way, I'm sure.
Right now, I don't think he's thinking any of that. I think
he'll be thinking.
If you're brutally honest, he's pissed off that he
Mate, failures make us stronger. That's it. I learned nothing from successes. Honestly, failures make me strong.
100%.
True.
Definitely. Right.
What's up?
Next topic. Bit more of a sour note. We're going to talk about the Met Police here. Do you know what's happening with the Met Police at the minute?
No, please inform me. This is how I get my news, by the way.
Yeah, because obviously I didn't know this.
I have no idea.
They've kept this quite hush-hush, funny enough. They've just been sued in High Court for not properly investigating Boris Johnson over Partygate.
Okay.
It's still at the initial stages, but this has been brought on by the Good Law Project, and they are willing to take evidence from people who want to remain anonymous, such as civil servants in number 10. They've said this is its moment to finally begin repairing the damage created by Met's inaction and restore the public's trust. So what I'm looking to hear from you guys is, how can the general public feel positive and gain trust about the Met Police again if they are found guilty?
It's not. It's going to damage them for years, isn't it?
So from looking at you, for example, if you employ, well, obviously we pay our taxes, which help to pay their wages. Are you going to feel protected if something like this is happening?
Well, it's a series of many things, isn't it? Like, obviously, you've got the police officer that obviously murdered that woman. That was Met Police, and that's not the trust. There's lots of different things that's happened, probably, in the last 2-3 years. And I think this will be the last thing. It's going to, I don't know how, I don't even know if they can come back from what they've done, because the first thing that's ever going to, also, for the people that are actually doing something wrong, they're going to use stuff like this as an example how to get themselves out of it. You can't trust the Met. It's just going to make it very difficult for even the new officers and bits and pieces coming up through to even actually do their job. Because not being funny, if you're going to be, but it's not just the Met Police that affects all police, because they just see it as one big corruption organisation. Because the police, yes, okay, they're broke up into different bits and they've got different people in charge, but it's not well. Just do your job properly. Stop. And I guarantee you, and this is my own opinion, you're guaranteed the big wigs in the Met Police know somebody that knows somebody else. This one knows that one. The word's get rid of it. My job could be on the line, and that's what it is. They're worried about their own. If they went after the Prime Minister and he eventually, all the evidence was there, but he still got away with it, you ain't got your job following you, have you?
Don't you feel this is an illusion? Don't you think you're being tricked? Don't you think that they're putting other stories out there for you to have debate about this when other stuff is totally going on?
Yeah, they're what's the word?
Just look at
magicians do it, don't they?
Yeah, look at my right hand while left hand's doing something else.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole situation, when it comes down to this, is that yet again it's a few people that spoil the many.
Yep.
And I feel like majority of people are doing their jobs. Mm-hmm. And we just care about the ones that are not all the time, which then tars everyone else in our own thinking and theirs. But one person will always spoil the party. No pun intended. One person will, and that's why that we're not noticing the silent majority. We're not noticing that people just get on and just do their job and do nothing. You know, they're consistent. They're doing it. They're working as hard as they can. We're just noticing the ones that don't. We've all seen Line of Duty. There's always going to be one, and then we're like, "Wait, all of them need to be fired." You're like, no, context.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to be retrained. I actually don't think the police are paid enough.
No way. No, none of the services.
Because if they were paid more, we would get more.
You get a better quality of people that are not saying that police don't care about their job
But how can you? Because it's so
you get so
thankless.
much shit.
It's thankless.
And you're like, And then the big wigs that sat there in their little offices in the police, I bet they're paid a small fortune. I guarantee if you look that up, they're paid a small fortune, and they're not the ones who put in the lives in danger.
To be honest, mate, every single person, and everyone be like, no, I didn't, lying. Every single person in a time, and I was going to say there was a hierarchy because in the sense what Conservative Party did, and now what Labour have done as well, because don't forget they did it as well with their own beer gate. The situation is every single person made up their own rules and took whatever they wanted to do in COVID. Everyone broke it. Every single person.
It can't be a single person anywhere that didn't break something.
No. Now, at the same time, it means less that you broke it then the leaders break it, right? Because you'll be like, wait a minute, you can't be doing this and telling us we can't see our grandparents or stuff like that, and then it breaks down the whole trust issue, and I completely get that. But in the end, right now, who are you voting for? Like, honestly, right now in politics,
believe in any of them.
Of course. So what does that do? We need to still believe in something, because if we have nothing, then we are literally, we're going to be running riot. You know what I mean? We need some order. If you had no teachers at school, the kids would be crazy. Even though we still want to shout at the teachers, we need them.
But it's the generations coming through are learning from people like our government.
They're not. They still know wrong and right.
Yes, everybody knows wrong and right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see someone in that sort of power getting away with it.
Yeah, but how much? But you say that.
And now he runs the country. Come on.
No, they run the country.
No,
they run the country. It's not one person. He doesn't even write his own speeches about.
No, but he's the okay.
You know what I mean? Like there are thousands of people around these people. It's not real.
But somebody
as a
has
person.
to be responsible, correct?
No. A group of people are responsible. One person's a spokesperson.
So hang on then. So if Boris ordered us into the Ukrainian war right now,
but it has to be voted in.
So it's not just his fault that did the order. No, of course it is.
No,
it
has to be. It has to be voted in.
Yes, what I'm trying to say is he has the final. Just because it was voted in, he still can say no.
Not on that. The Korean. It's difficult. There's loads of things. There's loads of situations.
But somebody, it's like here in the Bucks channel.
Mm-hmm.
There is a hierarchy. Even though you have the final debate, somebody has to have the final word.
But we could make a coup and we could go against that. You know what I mean? And then we could bring them down inside. They then don't have the say. If you wanted to then separate and do something else yourself, you could. It doesn't make a difference who's at the top. It doesn't make a difference. You can
as
enough
a species,
people.
We have to have somebody to blame.
Of course. That's why I'm looking forward to when aliens come down, because we can just hate them collectively and we can just all get on.
That's the only thing that would stop racism, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Unite the whole world.
Yes.
Is literally when aliens.
We wouldn't care. And then what actually will happen in the end is that aliens are just us in the future. You know?
Looking back at
do you remember we used to be like
humankind. This is where we've evolved into.
It's true. But yeah, I think it's hyper complicated. There are all these buzzwords, all these talking things, but I think yet again it's kind of a bit of a Emperor's New Clothes. You know, once you speak about
how it's sold, isn't it?
Yeah. Who knows?
Right, one I had in the bank, I didn't actually write anything down for because I was just checking the time. Just touch on it briefly. Obviously, the abortion ruling which got passed in the Supreme Court in the US. Of course, they're now saying that independent states can make their own minds up. Some have said, right, abortion's banned full stop. Some are saying 6 weeks. Some are saying 15 weeks. How do you think women can come back from that mentally? A lot will be massively struggling. Do you think there's a light at the end of the tunnel for them to be like, right, well, it is what it is. Let's just get our mental health in order now and go from there?
Mate, it's handmaid's tale. Honestly, if you look at everything that's being thrown at women right now, and literally only at women, it is absolutely, and I haven't even sworn today, it's absolutely fucking terrible. And I feel like there's an element of, shut the fuck up if you're a man on this. Shut the fuck up. This is not for you to ever say anything about. Because if men could get pregnant, there will be abortions on every fucking corner.
Oh, you'd be able to
there will be in beer and coffee.
It would have been
invented
that you could do it at home in your bathroom.
It's absolutely crazy. And at the end of the day, right, there are so many different reasons. But I guarantee, like, I take a mate to a gay bar. They're like, oh, I don't like it, mate. Like, people looking at me. I was like, that's how you make women feel every day. Every day you make women feel like that. And you're bitching about it because you've gone to a gay bar once in your life. Shut up. It's mental. It drives me insane because, yet again, this situation, we think we're forward thinking and we are better. But at the same time, it is crazy what we're doing.
We're in 2022 and we haven't even... we could put a man on the moon, but we can't even fucking help a woman.
Yeah.
That within the only positive in a negative there is that there's other states that you can go to. So it's not like it's mental. You shouldn't be, because obviously I don't believe in abortion, but that's my own opinion. But I would never say to somebody that's wrong because each person is entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah, like if you get raped.
Of course, and I get why you...
Do you know what I mean?
That's what we were saying. It's like...
before,
What?
Why would you?
Or if you're 13.
Why would you want to bring
you
a
know
child?
what I mean? Like what you know what I mean?
Been abused by your dad, your uncle, whatever.
That's it. I read this one on Twitter the other day, which I mean, yeah, you can make your own mind up for how you react to this, but this 13-year-old got raped by her dad, and he made her pregnant, and she decided to keep it. Yeah,
But that was her choice.
her
Nobody.
choice.
I don't think anybody
Because it's
should
emotional.
be able to do it.
You don't want to get rid of anything. Like and there's so much shame and there's so much stuff, and that is literally. I don't know a worst case scenario than that story. And what else? What you know what I mean? Like, and yes, you kept to keep it. And they're like, what about? But this is another thing. They're like, oh yeah, they care about the life until it's black, until it's gay, until it's trans, and then they just want them to die anyway. Like they pretend that they care. They only care if it's exactly what they want it to be, and that's the problem in this life. You know what I mean? We're seeing with the kid that shot all the kids in the school and stuff like that. In those instances, I guarantee that the kid who did it, I'm not defending him, but I guarantee he's been let down by the system. He wasn't from an affluent family. He wasn't from he wasn't cared about. He wasn't not laughed at by other people. He might have been rubbish at sports, so all the jocks and all that stuff are giving him a hard time. And then in the end, he's like, well, I'm going to do this. That is crazy, but we also make these people. We've all been horrible. We've all been horrible to people in our time at school, at work, or whatever. And sometimes you can push it too far, and you create monsters.
Yep,
absolute monsters.
We live in a bubble, don't we?
Well, look at the Joker.
So obviously, well, yeah, but he obviously had bad mental health.
But imagine he had love around him, and he had a good partner, and he had a good family, and he had good friends. I guarantee that tempers it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you take away all the, like a game of Jenga, you take away all the safety bricks, you always fall down.
And all that's now done by him doing that is giving other people mental health. And it's just one of them vicious circles.
Or ideas.
Yeah, copycats, all that kind of bits and pieces. But yeah, that's a hard one.
Yeah, it is. I guess we'll just have to wait and see in the future, won't we? But there's, as I was saying to Scott, like, you take, of course, women in general, but looking more specifically at women in sports. So like Megan Rapinoe, the US soccer captain. Can't believe what to call it soccer, but yeah, football.
It's in America, so it makes sense.
Yeah, true, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's a bit like Thierry Henry, isn't it?
Yeah.
But she's just come out and obviously slammed it. How does that put us? This is our profession. If something like that happened, because of course there are anomalies. You might have safe sex and something might happen, and all of a sudden you don't realise past wherever you are, 15 weeks at the max, you might not realise you're pregnant, and then voila, you've been stuck in a situation. You've had to step away from your profession. Like, it's just reacting to that. It's just, yeah,
the thing is,
difficult, isn't it?
You're never going to stop abortion. You're just going to stop safe abortion.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's been going on for
years.
Millennia.
Yeah.
So you're just going to stop it being done safely, because people will just still do it. And that's the problem. Yep. And so I think anyone should be able to make their own choice on anything, and then that's fine.
Well, it's like that 13-year-old. She wanted to keep it, so she kept it. It was her choice. Nobody should
ended up giving. She ended up giving it away.
Of course, she did.
Yeah.
But so basically, what she's done, as far from what I can see on the outside, is
if you grew up,
she didn't kill it, but she couldn't do the other side.
If you grew up and your granddad is your dad, mate, you're screwed. You're screwed. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a great way. No. You're gonna have to have that secret kept from you the whole time.
Of course, because obviously, again, it comes back. So the world is a very odd.
No, but there's extremes. This stuff doesn't happen. That's why the news is the news, because you hear about it. That means it doesn't happen all the time.
Because when you hear something like that,
when you don't hear about stuff that happens all the time, you're like, oh, I didn't realize it was that bad.
Thank God it does shock you, because otherwise it would be the norm and it wouldn't even shock you, right?
Do we have anything light at the end?
We do.
Yay!
What comes next?
Oh.
Words of wisdom.
Here we go.
Of course it does. All right. I did have one up.
Oh, okay.
Here he goes. He's going to his little...
Of course I am.
He's very good at this.
I don't think...
I've been waiting for this one.
Have you?
For 3 weeks.
I'm so sorry.
Right, ready?
I'm ready.
I've got quite a few, actually, but I mean, this one is quite good. Life only becomes too hard when you stop believing. Keep your head up and stay positive.
Oh.
Oh.
Like that.
Yeah, just a little power punch.
Actually, a new song that I'm just writing is called hold your head up high. So
Really?
yeah, there we go.
Right.
So all in there.
Maybe it can be released on the podcast.
Stop it! Stop it! I'm not releasing any music. I'm just writing. It's fine.
Are you writing it for anybody
So
in
I've
particular?
got TV now. You can put your lyrics up.
Hang on. You writing it for anybody in particular?
No comment. It's fine.
Oh. Would we get them on the pod?
Oh, you get everything. You get free. Yeah. Everything will be exclusive for you guys. So it's fine.
Beautiful.
It's all good.
So my one that I've been waiting to say for, because obviously this is how I felt when I got it, and obviously I heard this one, and obviously it kind of helps me a little bit.
Go for it.
So when you are given lemons,
Okay.
make lemonade.
It's true. Can you make lemonade?
I can if I get enough lemons.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a classic, isn't it?
It's a good
It's
classic.
just kind of, just especially in the last 3 weeks,
Yeah.
obviously things, and obviously it's like, okay, we'll try and, as the saying goes, you get given loads of lemons, make lemonade.
Well, I've got quite a generic one as well, and I wrote it down a while ago, but as don't be afraid to stand up. You know what I mean? If there's a situation, you might be the first person, you might be the cannon fodder in this situation, but if there's something that you feel that you should stand up for, whatever, don't be afraid. Even because it'd be better for the next person. It's better for the next person. We just had the footballer that came out and stuff at Blackpool. He's 17. He's not being afraid. And if you think about it, in the end, no one cared, because we're slowly trying to get that to that point. Though when people say, "Oh, we want more footballers to come out," and you're like, "Well, there's loads." And like, where? I was like, in the women's division. They're like, "Oh, we don't care about that." I was like, "Yeah, again, they seem not to care about that."
Without being rude, obviously I'm 41.
Yeah, still young.
It doesn't really fucking matter nowadays. It just, I think as a fan, as I'm not a fan, as a football fan, both of you, would you care if he scored? Because you just want the fucker to score, right?
We just want him to play well.
Your team, right? That's it.
Just play well.
It's got nothing to do with colour of the skin, sexuality, anything.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it?
And I think it's just absolutely pointless.
Football fans can be so fickle because, if he's on your side, won't care. But if he's against you and he scores against you, that's going to be the first thing which pops into someone's head to try and
depends how funny. Depends how funny the chant
is. To try some of the stuff that, I'm not saying all of it. Some of the stuff when they try to put off another team player, they find, find their kryptonite. Yeah, whether it's the colour of the skin, whether it's the sexual. Not saying that all of them didn't, but it's their way of attacking.
Well, it's the same as being cut up in your car. You see something and you might say the first thing that comes to your head.
Right.
You know what I mean? But does that mean you don't like people who are ginger? You know what I mean? Like,
that is exactly
because I actually love them. But if a ginger person cuts me up, I'm like,
you'll dye your hair before next week, right?
Yeah. It's because I'm getting grey, so I have to dye my hair now. It's fine.
But where would the civilization be if people didn't, like what you just said on your quote then, stand up? Rosa Parks didn't stand up.
Isn't it funny? That's a person that I always go to as well, like in the sense of just someone when... No, and I can imagine it wasn't great for her to have done that. No. But then you kind of have those moments. And, if
people didn't stand up...
Yeah. But people always
in history...
will. But people always will.
Yes, okay, at the time it wasn't good, like for women's rights, all that kind of stuff.
You have to.
Somebody has to be first, right?
Yeah.
Somebody has to lead.
And that person will probably be killed. It happens all the time. That person will probably be killed. Look, I mean, I'm not religious, but, Jesus did what he did, and they were like, yeah, we're going to kill him. You know what I mean? Like, even if he came back now, we'd still kill him.
You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Come on. How badly... Let's be fair.
Well, if Jesus just came in the room right now...
If he come back in here right now, and he had proof that he was Jesus, we would, as a society, as a world, we would literally put him in the lab.
Yeah,
we would test him. We would destroy his mental health. Go, okay, turn that into wine. Go on, off you go. He didn't quite did that.
You're like, this
is only a rosé.
Yeah, this is a Merlot. I didn't like that. I asked for Shiraz.
And then all you do is cause a war because obviously then, like you said, he was Jew. And then obviously this one, we're like, listen, we're stupid because we believe in something. We mess with each other. We
don't really want it to be real, though. You know what I mean? We don't really want it to be like in our face real. No. Because then we can't rip it down. It's all fun. Oh my God. Look how harsh, like with so many topics.
It's when you find out Jesus was an alien.
Oh.
Curveball.
There we go.
Well, anyway, we'll follow this up next week.
I'm excited.
Is he back next week then? Or is he going to leave us again?
I don't know.
Go check his diary.
Wait.
See if he can fit us
Checking
in.
the diary. I'm getting my patio jet washed, so yes.
Getting it jet washed. Do you not do it yourself?
No, have you done it yourself?
I
Because
have.
the first
It
one's
took
like,
me ages.
mate, you know what I mean? I'm paying the 75 quid not to do it. It's horrendous.
And, like, you just get covered, don't you?
It's horrible.
Absolutely
The first stone is great. You're like, oh, looks amazing. You're like, oh, I got
Can you
75
write your
more.
name with the jet?
No, mate, it's terrible. But yes, I'll be back next week. I am going away. I'm off to Holland this weekend for work.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
Well, they won the postcode out?
No, postcode is from Holland. That's actually from Holland first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dutch company.
Oh.
You would know that if you played.
Called me out on the podcast. I might do after.
Oh yeah, after a little win there.
Yeah.
20 quid.
Right. Well, look forward to seeing you again next week, Daniel.
I look forward to
It's been
seeing
a
all of
pleasure,
you.
of course. Thanks a lot. See you
See you
next week,
later.
guys.
Bye.